What is up and what's happening, Auburn fans? Welcome in to a Wednesday night edition of Auburn Primetime Live. I'm sorry I did not get on last night. I actually had my lone wisdom tooth taken out yesterday. So I was in some pain last night. Tried to get on. I was going to try to do the episode and I started trying to talk, y'all, and I wouldn't have made it very long. So sat down and watched some college basketball and said, you know what, let's just push it back to tomorrow night. So I feel a lot better. Still some discomfort, but I'm okay and I'm ready to talk. I know I'm late on the John Cohen stuff. I know I'm late on the DJ Durkin press conference, but I kind of want to start there because a lot of people, they're wondering who the candidates are for the Auburn head coaching job. Is DJ Durkin a serious candidate to be the next head coach at Auburn University? And after what I heard at the press conference on Monday afternoon, I believe DJ Durkin, some have him fourth, third. I have him at top two, to be honest. John Summerall is up there and Dillingham is up there. I think these kids feed off of DJ Durkin. All right. I think these kids, they cling to DJ, and I said it in year two. I believe it was Kayan Lee who had a pick at Kentucky. And he's running down the sideline, and you see DJ on the sideline, and he's like, let's go, baby. Let's go. And he kind of meets Kayan off the sideline after, they get done celebrating, and they're pumped up, and man, they're going at each other, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, the kids respond to the defensive coordinator more than they do the head coach. Like, I think that was also a red flag that we were kind of missing. Was the DC seems to get along with the kids better than the head coach does. Strange. I feel like the DC was more locked in than the head coach was. And I think the kids respected that. So what did they do? They got down with the DC. They were like, hey, man, we respect this cat. He's a hard-nosed guy. What's the word that's been popping up? Who will be the next Auburn head coach? A guy that's hard-nosed. He coaches tough, but he loves also. A guy that these kids will respond to. And that, to me, fits DJ Durkin. So I do think he's a serious candidate. And it's crazy to me that, he gets up on the podium the other day. First things first, I want to say this. I had a big thing with the way Hugh approached the microphone and the podium, right? I had a big deal because I think it means something. When I watch the greats of the game, a lot of them are standing tall at the podium. You see the water bottle, the Coke bottle, microphone, standing tall, look like they're ready to deliver the speech. You're in speech 101 and you got to get up in front of everybody and you're just ready to hammer this speech. That is what I see in a head coach. And a lot of times you've seen Hugh sitting down at a table, that was kind of cocked off to the side. It just looked bad. And that's my opinion. I didn't like it. A lot of people, they don't fall into those things. They don't look at them. They don't care about them. I do. I think the way you carry yourself means a lot. Now, he just looked disengaged to me at the podium. DJ Durkin comes up, standing tall, sharp, hands on the podium, ready to answer questions. That stuff matters to me, man. That stuff, it matters. I can tell you, I know I go after him a lot and I talk about him a lot, but he was the standard of college football. And the way Nick Saban addressed the podium, it meant a ton. Like watching him deliver post-game pressers and his Monday presser was like, man, this is what you should want to be. And I think it means something. And watching Durkin and how, he was asked about the starting quarterback position and he said, hey, we will evaluate it. We'll see who's the best guy to fit it, right? Yo, first thing here. It's Wednesday, right? Ashton Daniels has been named the starting quarterback. Last week, go back through that whole circus show. We didn't know who the starting quarterback was going to be until Friday night. What? We didn't know who the starting quarterback was going to be until 12 hours before the damn kickoff. Come on. Guess what? What did we hear last week? Well, they're taking 50-50 snaps with the first team. We don't really know who's going to be the starting quarterback. We're going to keep evaluating and see who plays the best in practice. It's an open competition. Iron sharpens iron. No, man. DJ said, hey, look, it's a Wednesday. I've seen 2 days. That's all I need to see. Ashton gives us the best chance to win. Okay, so now guess what? You get to move forward with Ashton Daniels as your starting quarterback, taking all the first team reps for the rest of the week. He was asked about play calling. Who's the play caller, DJ? Who is it? We want to know. You had 3 of them. He said, hey, look, Derek Nix is the play caller. He's going to be the only play caller. We're not doing the first, second, third down. What's crazy is we all thought it was a joke, man. We all thought it was a big joke. We said, man, no way Hughes out here got 3 play callers, man. He's just saying that, man. Boy, it looked rough. It looked rough. DJ set the tone at the presser. He said, hey, 1 play caller, Derek Nix, that's it. Confidence oozing right there. Now, I was having a conversation with my my shop foreman today. And of course, he's a big Alabama fan, right? He was like, Blake, y'all suck. I was like, yeah, I mean, can't disagree with you, brother. Like, got no pushback from me. Yeah, we do. We do. And he's like, man, what do you think the problem was? And I said, man, to be honest, I think the guy just checked out. And I know everything he has going on in his personal life. But I think after the Missouri game, I think he checked out. Now, there's been reports of they tried to come to an agreement on a buyout after the Missouri game. They tried to lower the buyout from $15 million. He said no. He declined that. Y'all, you go look at the Arkansas game. We should not have won that Arkansas game. It was bad. Daniel, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. It was bad. Not as bad as Kentucky, but Kentucky's defense was a little bit better than Arkansas's. But it was bad. He was checked out. And guess who wasn't? DJ Durkin. Still doing his job. They asked DJ, they said, man, do you think the head guy should be calling his plays? And he was, that's probably not how you should go about it. You should probably be the head coach and have a guy that you can depend on and rely on to run your system. But when things don't go right, you all of a sudden got a guy that you want to pin it on and say, oh, well, he wasn't doing his job. It wasn't me. When we scored, it was all me. When we scored, it was me, baby. But when we turned it over or we stalled out in the red zone, that wasn't me. So I told my shop foreman, I said, man, you know, you watch Alabama play. They get blown out their first week. I said, you watch even Ohio State. They win week 1 against Texas. I said, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was an ugly win. Week 1. Little offense being displayed. I said, but as you watch them week after week after week, Ty Simpson's getting better. Up in Ohio State, Julian Sayan's getting better. Their defenses are getting better as a whole. You watch these teams in the top 10. Man, look at Indiana. Everybody said, oh, man, Indiana was a one-hit wonder. They'll fall off. They'll win a couple games, but they'll fall off. Man, watch Mendoza transfers in there. Signetti coaches them up week after week after week. They get better and better and better. I said, Scott, Auburn got worse week after week after week after week. Auburn got worse. How? So we got worse, man, like 10 times worse. He said, man, your coach wasn't putting in the effort. I said, hey, that's what it sounds like. That's what some people around the building are saying. Maybe there was some laziness going on. We've heard that. I don't get it because I watch these other teams and I see progress. And with Auburn, it's not there. Only on the defensive side of the ball. And DJ's still locked in. I think DJ is a serious candidate for this job. Now, I loved what Cohen said, especially after the criticism that he had been kind of getting from the fan base and other fan bases saying that John Cohen's going to destroy your athletic department. He only cares about baseball. Look, he got up there and he said, hey, I am the committee. Okay, I make the decision. I made the decision to fire Hugh. It was a tough one, but I had to make it. I am the guy to go through this interview process and see who Auburn's next head football coach will be. He said, now, what I watched is unacceptable. That can't happen. Awful display. And we all knew it was going to happen. I think if Hugh even would have come back and won that game, I think he still gets fired. It was that bad. If New Boy wouldn't have fumbled the pick, and Auburn would have went down and scored and tied it up, and they went to overtime, and Auburn would have won, I still think he gets fired. Because at that point, Arkansas, your defense won you the game. And then Kentucky, your defense would have won you the game. Because Melendez, if he doesn't get the pick right there, you don't score at all. And then New Boy had the pick, but he fumbled it away. And that pretty much put the lid on the Hugh Freeze era. And, I just think Cohen said, hey, I was tired of watching it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. That's not Auburn football. And it's time to find new leadership. And we're going to do an extensive search, and we're going to do it the right way. And we're going to find a guy that can win. Like I said earlier, a hard-nosed guy, a guy that can coach and turn young men into grown men. Oh, man. Tough stuff. But I thought Cohen was sharp. I thought DJ was sharp. I do want to, after I get over to these comments, I do want to touch on the national media. I've heard some Auburn folks talking about. I want to give my take on it because, like today, we see Notre Dame come out and there's a home and away, home and home with Notre Dame in 27 and 28. And you want to sit here and tell me that Auburn's not an attractive job and it's a train wreck and all this stuff. So I'll give it I'll give my take on that. And let's get over here to these comments real quick, and then we'll get to that segment. And then I want to see how y'all feel about the basketball performance the other night. I do want to touch a little bit on that. War Damn Eagle, let's finish strong. Mike says, yes, sir. Hey, I do have confidence in this team going into Saturday. The weakest link. What is up, my brother? Let's go. Miss Karen says, War Damn fan, how we doing tonight? Vandy wins 42-10. The offense looks the same. Daniel, I don't know if Vandy gets to 42, brother. If they do, that means Durkin ain't getting the job. Boy, did I miss you, Daniel. Summerall, Dillingham, Durkin seem to be the top three right now from the way people are talking. That's how that's the feeling I'm getting, man. And I really don't want to. I've heard Jimbo. Like, why in the hell would we hire Jimbo? Come on. We just got out of offensive struggles. We don't need the 3-yard hitch anymore. Okay. And so if you hire Jimbo, that's what you're getting. You're getting the same mess you just got out of. I want serious candidates. Like I see these graphics where it's like Saban 50-1. I'm like, come on, dog. Come on. Stop. Put a short list out there. Don't put 12 names. Give me 4 freaking names and throw them on there. Legitimate candidates. I think if you had to throw a 4th one in there, you would throw probably a Rhett Lashley or a Golish from USF. One of those two, and that would be the end of the candidates. Like people are saying, "Oh, Dabo's going to be the next head coach." I'm like, Dabo ain't even been fired from Clemson yet. What are you talking about? Rodney, what's up, Blake? Bruton, Alabama. War Damn, how you doing tonight, Rodney? Glad you're in here, brother. Appreciate you. Miss Devin Ward, Eagle fam, I think we can pull off the upset this weekend. Hopefully this offense gets a spark. Look, there's been a thing with teams firing their coaches and getting a little spark from it. So I'm not gonna count us out just yet. I think it's gonna be a close ball game. Auburn's just got to muster something up on offense. War Dan Blake, hope all is well, brother. Hey, you too, man. I am glad you were in here. And and War Damn Durkin. Like that. I like how that sounds. If you think anyone is scoring 42 on this defense, you're a legitimate moron. Yeah, I gotta see it to believe that. We aren't winning anything until the fix that O-line. Okay. So they talked about would there be on-field staff changes, and I think that's the weakest link that you gotta attack first, and then I think the next one would be special teams coordinator. I'm sorry, those are the two areas that Auburn has been killed by, especially in the Hugh Freeze era. But the last 5 years, offensive line and special teams have been horrendous. You could even take special teams back 10 years. It's brutal. LOL, not saving Gruden and Fisher. That's what I'm talking about, Mike. Like, come on, man. America runs on Durkin. Okay. Morons legitimately think Saban is coming back to coach LSU. Not happening. Man, did you see how he was kicked back in that recliner? Saban ain't coming back to coach no football. Would you give him the job if we beat Vandy and Bama? Depending on how it looked. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would give it to him. Like if it just looked like a disaster and we somehow won a 10-7 game. I don't know. I don't know. I think if you could get Dillingham, to be your head coach and keep DJ. If not, I think keeping DJ is the best fit to save the roster. So, I mean, if he does beat Vandy and Bama, I think he's gonna get it. That'd be I think it's the way you save the roster and a lot of the kids leaving because they love him. They love him. They play hard for him. So I think if he wins those 2 games, yeah, he ends up getting it. It would be hard for him to win those 2 games. And I say how it looks. Oh man, it would be hard to fire him or promote someone over him winning those 2 games after what we've been through. Go 3-0 and the job is his. Go 2-1 and he should get a legit shot at getting it. I'm with you. I'm with you. Daniel, don't say we, but I definitely give him more of a look because he'd be 3-0. Yeah, and that's one thing about people are like, well, James Franklin don't win the big one, and I'm like, what I tell y'all the other night, we're not winning any of them right now. We're not winning any of them. So I'll take guys like that, And if Durkin wins, I'm riding. Freeze had no confidence. I'm with you. I'm with you. He looked checked out. Rodney, I think he had too much confidence. Wow, this is a different way to look at it. He thought he still had what it took to call an effective game. Yeah. Yeah. I've been telling him, and I know he doesn't watch this or he didn't watch me when I was with Up Tempo, but I've been saying to trash the RPO for about 2 years now because it's about 8 to 10 years out of date. There's been people use it effectively, but not as much as Hugh tries to use it. Yes, I agree with you. If Daniels fails, get Deuce on the field, let the kid have his shot. I'm with you now. All right. I was against this at the beginning of the season, but with how bad things have gotten, I'm with you. You can't hold. What do they say on the Water Boy? He's like, hey man, last game of the season, can't hold anything back now. You're at that point where 3 games left. He's only played in 1. You can't burn his red shirt. You're good to go. If Ashton goes out there and sputters, put Deuce in there and let him rip. Just pat him on the rear end and say, hey, brother, go out there and play. Have fun. Let it rip. Put it on a string. If we want to redshirt Ashton, he can't play against Mercer or Bama. Yeah, I think you could throw Jackson and Deuce out against Mercer and they'd be just fine. Hugh was arrogant. He thought he could play golf on game weeks and nail it in during game planning and still succeed. Kirby Smart and Kellen DeBoer aren't out doing things like that. And what's crazy is, have y'all heard the story of, I can't remember who said it, but they said that like on Sundays after games, like he would just go sit at the golf course. What? You just go sit at the golf course? Like, what the hell? What are we doing? What are we doing? Saban got his doors blown off in 2018 against Clemson out in Santa Clara. And they said when people were getting on the plane, he was already on there and he had the laptop open watching film. And they said, hey, man, what are you doing? Like, we got a flight back to Bama. And he said, well, I'm just preparing for next year. I don't get it. I don't get it. Was Hugh promised 4 years? So I think everybody has wandered across that video, seen that video, TikTok, people shared it out to Twitter. I probably wouldn't have hit send on that one. A little strange how it was put together. All I'm going to say is I wish Hugh Freeze the best with his health, with the next stop in his career if he has one. I'm not going to sit here and bash him like on a personal level or whatever. I just think it didn't work out at Auburn. But for family to go on social media and say how Auburn basically screwed them. And the saying is, if you love Auburn, it'll love you back. But apparently, that wasn't for us. How someone just lost their job, and this is terrible. Look, I get it. I get it. He got fired. You never want to see anybody get fired, but they handed him a $15 million check. All right, this ain't Joe Blow at the steel mill who don't get no check after they walk him in there and say, "Hey, here's your pink slip, dog. See ya." He ain't got nothing. He don't get no check on the rear end of it. Got a $15 million check. All right. Could be cheaper. I don't know. I don't know how the courts or whatever, if they try to work it down, it's still gonna be in the millions. All right. You out here acting like you just lost your benefits. You out here acting like you living beneath everybody. Come on. My house was built in the 1900s. Come on. Come on. I saw somebody say, yeah, it was built in 99. Come on, man. I just probably wouldn't have hit send. I just probably wouldn't have hit send. I get it though, frustrated, upset that dad got fired from the place you went to school. Bringing up, she even brought up tuition at Auburn. She was like, "Oh, well, I got to pay tuition." Yeah, half of it. Your dad's a university employee. Like, I just didn't understand the video. You know, I think they're a great family. I hate it for them, but let's not sit here and act like, you know, come on. So let me get back over here real quick, and then we will get to the media jumping on the Auburn Tigers. Not getting 4 years with 3 losing seasons in a row with a top 15 roster. That'll do it. That will do it. And you're constantly losing to your rivals. You've let them off the hook. You can't win games down the stretch. Huh. Rough. I thought it was after 4 games he can't. It is. So he can play the last 3, and Auburn would be fine. I'm not buying it. Get Deuce some playing time against Mercer with the starting offense. That kid is a playmaker. I wasn't a huge believer in him until I went to the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game last year, and I got to watch him against the best of the best. And I said, "Hey, this kid right here, star." Yeah, he gets 2 more. He's good. Him and Deuce are both. They're golden. Let's see. Make DJ the head coach and done over with. Signing day is around the corner. Most of the players want him to be the head coach. The only reason, Hummer, I think that there's a little bit of hesitation with that is because Auburn has to get this hire right. And you don't want to just jump the gun and be like, okay, well, DJ's our head coach. And then he goes out here these 2 out of 3 games and gets destroyed. And then you're going to be like, oh boy, well, we named him the head coach and we just got ripped. You got to do a search, man. You still got to interview and go through that big process. So what is up, Auburn Dad? How we doing tonight? Appreciate you being in here. That's a fact, man. Offensive line is the backbone of your offense, and our backbone has been ripped out. Our backbone has been ripped out. Hasn't been great. Named Joe Blow. Yes, that's his real name. Really? Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Sometimes it's not about the money, just saying, I know everyone wants to focus on that, but I don't think that's what she was trying to say. Yeah, I think Devin also is like, that's why I don't want to like bash her or the family because I get it, her dad's health, and I think that's the serious thing here. But it was just a really weird video to post. I don't see other coaches, family members like coming out and posting videos and trying to say things about the school and things like that. Like, yeah, okay, they might have sat down when you were hired and said, "Hey, you're promised 4 years." But when you're out here losing to Cal in New Mexico State, they're sitting here going, "We got to retract that 4 years, brother. Sorry, hate it for you, but you got to go. You got to go." I hate it, but that's just the name of the game. But the reason I think the video got so much traction is because people did take it that way about the money. People who are, they don't have what the Freeze family has. I think a lot of people on TikTok saw them and were like, "Hey, quit griping. Your family has millions. You could be out here clocking in on a 9 to 5 every day." That's the reason I think it got the pushback that it did. Is people was you're on here crying. You're on here crying and you're getting a $15 million check. Those were a lot of the comments that I saw. They acting like they lost their snap. Yeah, that's. I saw that comment. I saw that comment. Dude got on there and said, "You act like you got 3 kids and just lost. You just lost your stamps." I think that's why people got offended and it got the traction that it did. That'd be like I don't know, that'd be like Tim Cook getting on social media and be like, "Oh man, I lost my job today and shucks, I got it so bad." People are gonna look at him and be like, "Man, you don't have anything bad." Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, just a weird video to hit send on. Now, my video, if you ain't seen my TikTok video, get on over there and look at it. Give it a glance. Put the peepers on it. All right. I think it's got like 20,000 views. Need more. Need more. People put in the comments that they want me to start doing them again. Uh, I'll try. I'll try. Um, we'll we'll see if we can get them going. But I think Durkin could have some nice little one-liners in there. I think I could create something special with him as head coach. But we'll see. We'll see. I took a little break from TikTok for a while, so let's get over here to the second segment of the show. Let's talking about the national media taking some shots at the Auburn Tigers. Chris Lowe calling it buyout you, which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. Insanity that you got LSU just paid a $50 million buyout. You had Texas A&M. They had to pay Jimbo. You've got a bunch of other examples out there where cats are getting paid. James Franklin just got paid $50 million. And he's like, "Well, Auburn's buyout you. You go to Auburn and they give you a couple years and then they fire you." And I'm like, dude, when has that been a thing? At Auburn, when has that been a thing? Please tell me. Pull up the history books right now and tell me, when have we consistently hired coaches and gave them 2 to 3 years and then put them on their way? Please tell me. Because I'll sit here, I'll hang up and listen. One dude told me, "Well, Chiswick." I said, "Okay." He got 9, 10, 11, and 12. I said, it's not my fault that in 2012 he had the worst record in the SEC at 3-9 and 0-8 in the SEC, brother. And I think the fan base didn't like that was 2 years off of a national championship. So he got the axe. And then guess what? Gus got the job. So I guess we only gave Gus 3 or 4 years. Gus only got 3 or 4 years, y'all, and then we booted him to the curb. Buy out you, baby. Buy out you. I guess Tommy Tubbs only got 3 or 4 years, and then we booted his tail to the curb. Get out of here, Tubbs. See you, brother. It's never been a thing. So I don't get where Chris Lowe wants to hype up and say, oh, it's buy out you. Bang. Bang. 5 coaches in 25 years, 2 coach for like 17. What it is, it is a simple philosophy. All right. All it is the media sees Auburn. All right. They see Auburn over here. They see Alabama right here. All right. And they say, hey, we got Alabama. The Saban guy, he coached there. He coached there for what, 17 years? What we're going to do is we're going to flip this. All right. We're going to say, hey, Auburn, we're going to down them every way they can because this DeBoer guy, he seems like he's working out a little bit. So these cats over at Auburn, they can't get it figured out. So let's bury them. Let's bury them, man. That's all it is. And I've told y'all that. Anything to prop Bama up, they're going to do it. And Bama's got their stuff together right now. But hold up. My people, listen to me here. Everybody wants to throw stones at Auburn right now. Everybody. Tennessee, how long were they bad? For how many years did Tennessee go from coach to coach to coach to coach? They were terrible for 15 years. They were garbage. Losing to Georgia State. Doing the same stuff Auburn's doing right now. Alabama, hello, wake up. From about 97 to 2007, they weren't great. They weren't. Until Nicky Boy got there. They had a couple years in that stretch where they won some games, but they weren't great. And everybody's like, oh, Auburn's just, man, what a disaster. It's a fire. It's a dumpster fire. Who wants to go to Auburn? And I'm like, dude, everybody goes through this. LSU, you're going through it right now. You haven't been good since Burrow. Everybody goes through it. It's just part of it. It is part of it. When I was coming up, Arkansas was contenders. They had 2 running backs. They had one that some say should have won the Heisman Trophy. Houston Nutt had them rolling. Bobby P had them rolling. Now look at poor old Arkansas. They're down at the bottom dweller. They're terrible. Can't win a game. Everybody goes through it. But you want to throw all this trash on Auburn and say, man, Auburn's terrible. Auburn just can't get it done, man. They got a booster problem. I tell y'all this. Nobody in hell, Jimmy Rain, is giving millions and millions of dollars to sit there and watch Auburn lose. And if you really think that, it's beyond me. Millionaires just don't give money away like that for no reason. Oh, yeah, here's $25 million to go be complete and utter ass. Are you giving away $25 million to somebody and saying, here you go? Just, just do whatever you want with it. I don't care. It's just $25 million. Just do whatever you want with it. If you want to go 5-7, go 5-7. That cracks me up when people say that. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then if you don't think the media has a bias towards Alabama, why are you still watching the Next Round Live? Why are you watching Next Round Live? They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They set it up. They threw the alley-oop. No. Brett, it was Joel Klatt. It was. But let's not sit here and pretend that Next Round, like Connie said, let's not sit here and pretend that Next Round Live didn't set that up. They knew exactly what they were doing. I've interviewed people and I've interviewed players. You know exactly what you're going to say before you get on the mic. And if you disagree, I hate it for you, but you do. You rehearse those questions. You put them in the back of your mind. You might word them differently when you ask them, but there's a thought process there. You got bullets in the chamber there, all right? You know exactly what you're going to ask. They lobbed it, and Joel Klatt slammed it. That's exactly what they did, and they knew what they were doing. Auburn hasn't had a winning record since 2019. That year, our current players were 12 years old in the 6th grade. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Keeping it real. Appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate you, man. The last 17 years, it's been hard to win in Saban's shadow. That's also true. And you got his sidekick, Kirby, went to your other biggest rival. It's hard out here. It's hard. So that's why another reason Hugh had to go, because you had him on the ropes and you couldn't finish him. Off the subject, my friend's son played with and his best friends with Duke Smith, freshman wide receiver, said Hugh didn't have a team meeting after the game because Hugh was crying over the boos from the fans. Soft. Get out of here. Soft. Connie, that was Joel Klatt. Yeah, that's the one we just... Look, Joel Klatt, first off, I really like Joel Klatt. All right? I really like Joel Klatt. I listen to his show sometimes. Joel, he gives off this vibe that he's like the guy that wants to keep the elites elite. He wants to keep the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Bamas, the Oregons, the Notre Dames and the Texases and Oklahomas, and he wants to keep all of those. USC, anytime that they can vouch that, Bama, get them in there, put them in the playoff. Anytime he can dunk on somebody like Auburn, who's struggling right now, he's going to do it. And that's what I felt like. He had an opportunity that was set up from Next Round Live, and he dunked on Auburn. And he said, "Hey, you're not as pretty." Like, hey, Goofy, we know that, right? I'll be the first to tell you, and people hate me for it. I've seen it in YouTube comments. People are like, "Oh, Blake's so unrealistic." No, I am. I'm realistic. I'm telling you that Alabama is the greatest college football program in the existence of planet Earth. And if you want to argue it, we can go down the rabbit hole. All right? But they are. They're the cream of the crop. They're the best ever. They've got the greatest 2 coaches of all time. And so as Auburn fans, we know that we're not as pretty. We're not. And that's okay. We just got to put on a little makeup. That's it. Just got to put on a little makeup. That's it. And what I mean by that is I'm not asking you to look like a 10 every time you step out the door. I'm not asking you to win national championships every single year. I used to say this to my buddy Dustin. All I ask Auburn is to compete every 3, 4, 5 years. Give me some sort of championship. Give me an SEC championship. Give me a berth to the college football playoff once every 3, 4 years. Give me that. And in the years you don't make it, give me an 8-4, 9-3 season where you're on the cusp of almost making it. Those are my expectations. I have seen Auburn play in 2 national championship games in my lifetime. I've seen you win one of those. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Does that mean we are a 6-7? First off, the 6-7 thing, I hope my kids just didn't hear me because I hear it nonstop. But ain't nothing wrong with 6s or 7s. They need loving too. And guess what? That's all I need. That is all the loving I need is for every couple of years, just get me to the dance. And maybe if it pans out and everything lines up right, we can win it and play in it. That's it. If you go back and look at Gus's tenure, 13 played for a national championship. All right. 14. We were ranked high. We played in some big games. We should have been better. Season should have ended better. 15, dog water. 16, unfortunate. All right. Unfortunate. Things happen. You still, went to a bowl game, a nice bowl game, and things didn't work out the right way, and it just, you had Sean White injured and all that stuff. Like, tough break, right? Tough break, literally. No, I guess break was a bad thing to say, but all right. 17, you come out and you're right on the cusp of the college football playoff, the 4-team college football playoff. You were almost there, right? 18, went backwards. Things didn't work out. Went backwards. 19, you go 9-3. You introduce a true freshman starting quarterback. You went 9-3. Like, the teams you lost to were just better than you that year. Tough, right? 2020, yeah. COVID year, you never knew from week to week, right? That's kind of like, I want Auburn to be on that doorstep. Oh, you went to the Sugar Bowl? Oh, man. Oh, that's so tough. That's so tough. I went to, so we blew Arkansas out. And then was it the next week we played Ole Miss, or did we have I'm pretty sure it was the next Saturday. I went to the Ole Miss game in Oxford, and it was pretty close. And then we ended up stomping them. And Sean White was like balling. I still got a video of him running a touchdown in, and I was on the second row and right in the Auburn section. I mean, we were going crazy, but fun times, right? Like, we went to the Sugar Bowl. We played in that New Year's Six. It's 2017. We're on the cusp of the college football playoffs. That is what I expect Auburn to be. I expect you to be there in the big time conversations, and I know Auburn can. Feinbaum and Peter Burns have had great answers and pushback to those narratives. And we've seen Auburn win, so why would you come out and be like, yeah, man, you're just not that pretty. You think you're way better. What did he say? Your expectations are over your skis. Well, guess what, buddy? It don't freaking snow down here like that where it does out in Colorado. All right? You're buffs. Because guess what? If you want to talk trash about Auburn, let's talk trash about them buffs. All right? Let's talk trash about Dion and the Buffs, because they are getting absolutely booty blasted every Saturday. Every Saturday, booty blasted, browned out. Where's their pushback? Feinbaum is about to run for office. I think he's been much kinder to AU. Every vote counts. Every vote counts. Crazy that dudes that used to coach and play football and media members and all running for office and crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Weird. Weird. Weird to see. Weird to see. Right. That's my biggest thing is don't throw shade at Auburn for a program that has been. I'll be the first one to argue is top 15 of all time in college football history. The Auburn Tigers are top 15, and I'll go to bat for that. And I know the last 5 years haven't been great, but you can't pin that on the history of the Auburn Tigers. So that's my pushback to that is every school goes through this. They've been through it. They've been on 5-10-year stretches. Hopefully Auburn's ends sooner rather than later. Auburn's going to get back. Got to nail this higher. I'm just a little disgusted at how some of these people want to talk trash about Auburn and media members inside the state that supposedly are supposed to be non-biased and neutral on their show lob up a question to get an answer like that. I don't know. Weird to me. So, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Oh, hold on. I still got about 8 minutes real quick. We've been in here for 52. Let me go about 8 minutes longer. Before I get out of here, I'm sorry. Let me hear y'all's thoughts about the basketball team. I got to hear your thoughts about the basketball team. I thought it was piss poor. I thought it was a sluggish performance. There was no defense played. Effort was bleak, in my opinion. I didn't think there was a whole lot of effort there. I thought there was some guys that picked it up offensively. On the offensive side, I thought it was a lot of ISO basketball, a lot of standing around, a lot of one-on-one, go make a play, draw a foul. Didn't see a whole lot of sets being run. Didn't feel like it was fluent. We got a long way to go, in my opinion. Now, I do think that first game, I still want to give them a little bit more time. But it better get a lot better pretty dang fast. It better get a lot better pretty dang fast. Even the barn, even sponsoring the barn. Oh, yeah. Defense was terrible, but I loved SP response in his presser. So Brian Stoltz, he doesn't even work for Auburn anymore, but I know he was good friends with Hugh. He put on there like, you just lost the presser, buddy. Like, why say something like that? And I was like, dude, how about log off for the night? Or better yet, maybe even the week. He lost the presser. Like, that was hilarious what he said. Because it's the truth. We're tired of being told that just be patient. Just be patient. Great point, Karen. No defense, need work on free throws. Gotta hit free throws. That's gotta be better. So I don't want to give up on them yet, but I think there's some improvement that needs to happen really quick, really quick, and we got to get it figured out. I do think they have all the potential in the world to be great, though. So with that being said, I am out of here for tonight. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. I really do. Hit the likes, hit the subscribes, all that good stuff, man. Share it out on social media. Like I said, it's War Damn Eagle till I die. I will see y'all on the next one. I'm out.